Thanks to the support as a channel member, Jason Odendahl. Oh, I don't want to allow anybody, but we're suddenly looking really, really good at football. We're scoring all the goals. We're just a very good football team all of a sudden. Hello and welcome to part 73 of the Tour de France. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have a league game against Lens. We also face Djurgårdens in the Europa League. I was going to wear my Djurgårdens shirt, but it's I think it's in my storage unit in my long-term shirt box because I couldn't find it either hung behind me or in the short-term one at the top of the wardrobe that Anna gets annoyed about regularly. So we can't wear that, unfortunately. We have to make do with a very sexy dual football in a very fetching red. I can probably cope with that, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the fact that we are suddenly a good football team, and that has made me giddy. Obviously, ignore the 17-0 friendly win, but the 4 previous matches, do not ignore them. 3-0 over Leyton Orient, 3 goals scored, none conceded. 4-0 over Marseille, 4-0 over Newcastle, 5-0 over Lyon. That looks on paper like a tough run of games. Lorient were right up there last season, qualifying for the Champions League. Marseille and Lyon are obviously up there or thereabouts every year. Newcastle are Newcastle. They may only be mid-table in the Premier League, but they're still a Premier League side. Presumably still have a load of money. Actually, they don't have a load of money still. But still, they're still Newcastle, and they still made it into the Europa League. So they can't be that bad. They had some very fancy players in their team, actually, if I recall. Darwin Núñez, Conor Gallagher, Lewis Cook. There was Frank Kessie. There's names I remember. Obviously, Ulrich and Kramer, who played against them, which was lovely. But yeah, the fact that we beat them so comprehensively, I would suggest they should probably take Nguema back because he could fit into that team nicely. But that was 4 games against 4 top teams, 0 goals conceded. What's that? 16 goals scored. We just look fantastic, and largely it's because of the emergence of this guy who is he's far too good for us. I think we enjoy Martin Del Palacio Langer while we can for this season. I suspect he'll be heading back to Paris Saint Germain in the summer and slotting into their first team setup because he has been sensational. 9 games played, 7 goals scored, 2 assists, 2 man of the matches, a 7.81 average. If he carries on like that all season, we have a proper world superstar in our hands. It's just a shame he's the only one, I think, who's here on loan without any kind of prospect of signing him permanently. But we'll certainly enjoy him while he's here. It's got us up to 3rd place in Ligue 1. Remember, to get into the Champions League this year, we have to finish top 3. Top 2 qualify automatically for the group stages. 3rd place goes into the playoff to get into the Champions League. We're great at playoffs. It'll be fine. But we are actually top 3 at the moment, which is huge. If we can keep this up, that will be an outstanding season. Del Palacio Langer is one of the top scorers in the division, outscoring Millet and Omar at the moment, and only being outplayed by Erling Haaland and Raul Moro. Don't even know who this guy is. I imagine he's another one who's on the FM22 Wonder Kids lists somewhere. Lazio at the start of the game, maybe. He had that big career gap where we only had the French leagues loaded because we were playing so deep. But then he's emerged and just looks very, very good. But Del Palacio Langer, better than all of them as far as I'm concerned. Let's go beat Lens. This is the team we are putting out there. It's not quite the team you would expect with Di Girolamo up front, but that's because we've got a big game in the Europa League coming up straight after it. We're kind of trying to get out of this group with 4 points on the board so far. We struggled against Feyenoord, but did beat Newcastle comprehensively. So I'm experimenting with this thing that the cool kids call rotation, he says, with 2 players not fully fit in the side. But Simon and Nguema can both play 75 minutes. And the fact that we've now got a bench that includes the likes of Omar, Millet, Vaquero even, and Milinkovic, sitting this one out completely because he is currently being rested. And we've even been giving game time to our youngsters. You should be so proud of me. Nicholas Vektovic has played 2 games for us now coming off the bench. And we even had some game time for Travis Mankolo as well. We've not forgotten he exists. Our 2 5-star potential wonder kids. So exciting times. Let's see if I can do squad rotation, shall we? I mean, I'm not that excited about this. It's got to be said. Maybe we don't have him in there as the playmaker. I was talking to someone about this in the comments the other day. The reason I don't want to play my centre-backs as that holding midfielder is because I like to have that as the playmaker. But I think for this match only, we're just going to have Bertrand sit in there as a defensive midfielder and just concentrate on protecting the back two, while these two push on and let Nguema take care of playmaking duties. If anything, if we feel like we need a second playmaker in there, El Palacio Langer could probably do an excellent job of that from further forward. So the team for the game against Lons, it is Magothu in goal, a back four of Simon, Say, Capital and Frey. Bertrand sitting in front of the back four today. Fowry and Del Palacio Langer ahead of him. Benavides on the left and Nguema on the right, and Di Girolamo up front. These ones even playing well. Benavides, 7.16, 5 goal contributions in 8 matches. And Di Girolamo came off the bench to score recently. Must have been in the Newcastle game. Yeah, the Newcastle game. Came off the bench, grabbed a goal. So I'm very excited at the direction this team is heading in at the moment. Lons are not an easy team to steamroll over, especially when we've got Mille and Omar starting the match down on the bench. But if we're able to get a result here today without our 2 key goal-scoring threats, that would be massive for us. Of course, what could happen is I could be getting a little bit too overexcited about the quality of some of our fringe players, and maybe we should have had one of Mille or Omar in from the start, because you would like to think we should be able to beat Djurgårdens regardless, and we could probably be better. We'd probably be better set resting players against them rather than resting players in the league. But I'm trying to build a mentality at the club where there's not necessarily a set first 11, and we just rotate. We're going to be the Manchester City of Ligue 1. That's the plan. Oh God, Magothu pushing it into the path of an on-rushing striker, but luckily the shot is very tame and straight back into his hands. But yeah, I'd love to get to the point, especially with Mille leaving at the end of the season, and potentially Del Palacio Langer leaving at the end of the season as well, if we can't extend his loan. I would like to get to the point where we don't rely on any one player. We've spent a long time relying on Omar or relying on Fowry, and when Fowry's been out of the team, we've not played well. When Omar's not scoring, we don't win. I want to get to the point where we've got multiple options in every position. It's a long-term goal, but we've got lots of money in the bank, and we're going to ignore the fact that we're 1-0 down in this match, because that doesn't really fit the script. It's the first goal we've conceded since we played Monaco 5 matches ago, and it might be the curse of restarting the game. Obviously, I've had that little run of good results before closing the game last night. I opened it up again this morning and get a little bit too big for my boots with my rotation, and it costs us. I mean, you can't say that playing Di Girolamo up front is cost us conceding an early goal. What might be costing us that is the resting of Milinkovic and playing Bertrand in that role, which is a role he's never really played in for us before, and it does involve a tweak to the system as well. Milinkovic has been fantastic in that role this season since Thomas has been injured, and he's kind of made it his own, which in turn allowed for Del Palacio Langer to establish himself as a starter. And the Thomas injury, as much as it was a pain at the time, has probably served us quite well with the changes it's forced on the team. That's a big miss from Benavides, by the way. He should be tucking that away. He got a little bit of stick in the comments a few days ago when I talked about going all in on him this season and really trying to push him. Suggestions that he might not be good enough. He's not doing his case any favours missing chances like that. Chances that we've been watching Mille score for the last goodness knows how many years as well, which makes it even more tough, because we all know that Mille probably scores that chance. No matter how good Benavides has been playing, he has potentially cost us points there, but we are going to demand more. I'm a little upset at how little we've got going forward in this game. It suggests that Milinkovic is probably responsible for a lot more of the attacking oomph than we think he is sat at the base of midfield, because that's the big significant change. We're not really creating anything because Bertrand, his first instinct is to do that and play it back to one of the centre-backs behind him who are in a more comfortable position for them, whereas Milinkovic's first thought is to try and play someone in a little bit further forward. But here's Del Palacio Langer, back to Bertrand again though. This time he finds Nguema, and now Frey has got space on the right-hand side. If he can find the cross, there are men in the middle ready for him. Benavides at the far post, nods it down to Del Palacio Langer, and there's his 8th goal of the season. That was much better from Benavides this time. It's another thing we've seen Mille do for such a long time, those aerial dominant moments at the far post. Benavides, not as much of a big aerial threat as Millet is, but did his job there, nodded it down to Del Palacio Langer, who was the spare man in the penalty area, and tucks it home for 1-1. And with 20 minutes to go, and the big boys on the bench warming up, we can sense blood. We're going for them. Nguema's going to come off. Omar's going to come on. Girolamo can drop back out to the right-hand side. We've also got Gonzalez coming on at right back because Frey, as ever, can't make it all the way through a football match. But with Omar coming on with 20 minutes to go, this is our moment to go and win this football match now. Benavides on the left-hand side, playing it all the way back to Say. Couldn't get past his man, but Capital now trying to get things going again through Fowry. And now Gonzalez, fresh man, of course, on the overlap. It's a terrible cross from him. He is not Frey when it comes to his delivery from there. But luckily, he's got the energy to do that, which Frey also probably doesn't have at this stage, chasing all the way back to retain the ball for us and start things off again through Del Palacio Langer, and now Say, who gives it back to Langer, and now Benavides going to cut inside, and it's a beautiful pass for Fowry, who's got a man with him, but it doesn't matter. Cyril Fowry, it's taken him a little while to get off the mark this season. He did score 5 goals in that friendly we played on the international break, and it's clearly given him a taste for goal again, playing in a slightly more withdrawn position this year. He's been used to being our most attacking central midfielder for a long time, playing now as the box-to-box midfielder, bursting into the opposition penalty area to make it 2-1, and this is good stuff from us. We look, this is the kind of game where before we'd just go on and lose, whereas we do look a lot more competitive now. Christopher Robin's going to come on at left back, something he's done many times before. Viqueiro coming on in midfield allows us to push Fowry a little bit further forward again. And now I think for the final change, we take off Di Girolamo. And we are going to leave Millet out on the right as the playmaker. I think I said in yesterday's episode that Omar is the only one in the front three who can really do that role. I had a proper look at the attributes. There's no reason why Millet can't do it either. So at the start of that little run of wins, I did swap them over and we started playing Millet on the right while Nguema was injured. And I mean, as you can see, he is quite capable of playing as the playmaker. And that is a lovely cross for Benavides, who does grab himself his goal. And Millet's served it up for him on a plate, and we've turned the game on its head. I mean, it does coincide with our superstars coming off the bench, but the important thing is we've been able to secure a win here, hopefully, whilst only putting 20 minutes on Omar and Millet, which I think that's crucial when it comes to managing their fitness over the course of the season. It's something we've not really been able to do before, but we are now slowly but surely filling out this squad with a little bit more strength in depth, a little bit more quality in our backup players. And hopefully it was Tanderson good said that was great from Bertrand. That's the advantage of playing Bertrand there rather than Milinkovic, that he just drops back in between the centre-backs there and plays like a third defender and was able to head that clear and cut out the Lens attack. They're in again here, but Capital has it covered comfortably. Notable as well, Capital playing 90 minutes here, which he hasn't. This might be the first time he's ever played a full 90 for us. So, I mean, they looking at his fitness levels, we comfortably could have taken him off, but hopefully we start to get some stamina out of him, because I don't really want to have to take off my best centre-back 20 minutes before the end of every match because he's struggling for fitness. But that, boys and girls, is a huge result for our plans going forward this season. It keeps us in third place, sets us up nicely, keeps the winning run going, and now we can go into the Europa League. Now a win there against a team we should be capable of winning will have us looking pretty good for getting into the knockout rounds of that as well. It's all going very well all of a sudden. Right, a few changes in for the Djurgårdens game. Omar comes back in up front. Millet's not going to come back in, though, because Benavides was fantastic in that last game in the end. 1 goal, 2 assists, involved in everything. I tell you, this guy, he's still only 24 years old. He is our future on this left-hand side. He is playing very, very well this season. We've also got Milinkovic coming back in at the base of the midfield. And we've sent Say away on a holiday. He was a tired little soldier after that game. So we're going with Capital and Bertrand at the back. It does mean an opportunity from the bench for Zvetkovic, although in Europe we're going to get 3 substitutions. So less chance for him to come on than if we were playing in a domestic match with 5 substitutions. I've also finally started training Christopher Robin to actually play left back. He comes on at left back quite regularly. He played left back there, We'll use him there quite frequently. I don't see any reason why he shouldn't be able to do the role. We can't actually show position suitability, which is unfortunate. But yeah, he can't tackle, but you need to be able to tackle in a KEV left back role. No, he can't really cross either. But you know what? He's left footed, and that is enough to suggest he can play left back as far as I'm concerned. We certainly use him there, and he's a player I want around the squad because he's useful for us to have in the squad. And it's a gap we have in the squad. So let's have him playing there. It gets him game time when he wouldn't necessarily get it otherwise, and means we don't have to keep using Say at left back when Kevin Simon is unavailable. Right, we would like a win here, please. I think Djurgårdens are our next 2 games, so if we could beat them twice. I have no idea how good they are compared to us. I'm assuming we're going to be much better than them, but I know very little about Swedish football. Maybe the standard is higher than I think it is, but I would like to think we could pick up a couple of wins here and secure our qualification out of the group before we have to worry about those final 2 games. And there is Nguema with the first chance of the game. It's a cross from Del Palacio. Langer again. The man is everywhere. And Nguema is there at the far post to nod it in. And he is, I mean, the entire front 3 are playing so much better for having a creative force behind them. Who would have thought? As much as I love Fowry and Milinkovic, they're both box-to-box midfielders. They're very similar. And I think getting away from having Fowry and Milinkovic together as our central midfielders has allowed us to have a more creative player in there in Del Palacio Langer, which in turn is leading to loads more improved performances from our front 3. Would I have figured it out myself without the injuries to Thomas forcing it? I'd like to think so. You all know you know I'd have got there eventually. Maybe. But it's fortuitous, and now we just need to figure out a way to keep Del Palacio Langer. Because the thing is, the Paris Saint Germain want 37 million for him, which is an extraordinary amount of money. However, we have got 39 million in the bank, even after all our transfers, because of the huge fee that we got for Millet. That's a lovely finish from Benavides. Don't disallow that one for offside, referee. It's such a good finish. Even if he was a little bit offside, you should cut him some leeway and let him have the goal. There you go. The referee understands. Because when the finish is that good, it doesn't matter if you were a little bit offside to begin with. You deserve the goal anyway. It's a lovely pass from Omar as well, and a perfectly timed run from Benavides. He wasn't offside, and he's showing once again just how good he is. And with our 4-0 away win against Newcastle already in the books, the only drop points against Feyenoord, we're looking good for topping our group at the moment, which would be huge for us, because it means you skip on the first knockout round and really do set yourself up nicely for our run at this tournament in the second half of it. I'm not going to get carried away, as I often do, because obviously we have got the Champions League losers going to be joining us for that. I think they join in the first knockout round, don't they, playing against the runners-up from this round. So the quality of opposition does improve after Christmas, but we said it about the Conference League last year, and they'd never even qualified for the group stage. But I think this team, playing the way they are with that man in it, has a real chance of winning this tournament this year. What a goal from Del Palacio Langer. We have got to do everything possible to try and sign that boy permanently. I think it's absolutely impossible, because I don't see a scenario where we're going to be able to drop £37 million on a transfer ever, never mind before his loan runs out at the end of the season. But my word, is he a good player. And Benavides is in with his second of the game. Again, a little bit of a question mark of offside. We'll check it in with the referee. I don't mind if he disallows this one. We're already 3-0 up. If we're gonna have a goal chalked off for offside this season, I don't mind it being this one. He's awarded anyway. Everything's coming up Benavides at the moment. He is in incredible form. He just needed a little bit of stick from you lot in the comments section, clearly. I genuinely think we don't need Millet anymore. And I would love to spend the Millet money on Del Palacio Langer if I'm allowed to, which I know I'm not going to be able to, and then try and bring Nguema in permanently in the summer as well. Oh, can you imagine? It would be a dream scenario if we got Del Palacio Langer and Nguema both permanent in the summer. I could handle losing Millet in that scenario because of the way Benavides is pushed on. Of course, there is the option of loaning Del Palacio Langer for another year. The form he's in, I think that's unlikely, but stranger things have happened. It is Paris Saint Germain. It's not like he's on loan from Lyon and they'll obviously just put him straight back in their team. He's on loan from Paris Saint Germain. As great as he is for us, does he get in Paris Saint Germain's team? Probably not. We've seen how good their team is. He probably doesn't get in their team, so maybe they'll be open to loaning him out again. The question then becomes, does he want to come to us or does he want to go on loan to AC Milan or someone like that who would probably happily take him? Benavides has scored a hat-trick here. I love this. That's 6 goal contributions in this episode for the man who was most recently questioned. I mean, it's almost as if show a little bit of faith in a player, and if they're any good, they'll repay the faith. It does make me wonder, should I give Di Girolamo a run in the team ahead of Nguema before we break the bank to bring Nguema back permanently? Maybe we should give him the Millet treatment, and we've got a perfectly adequate replacement there. Let's give him 6 games and see if he could be better than him. Who knows? Who knows? Magothu seems to have forgotten there that he's allowed to use his hands. I mean, he's got away with it, but he would fill me with so much more confidence if he didn't do things like that. But he is still young. He's a 21-year-old goalkeeper. He's going to get better and better, and he's going to get more experience, and hopefully he's going to stop doing things like what we've just seen him do there, because that was a weird piece of goalkeeping. But I think we've answered our question about how good Djurgårdens are here, unless we've actually just asked a question about just how good are we, because we're playing very, very well, but I don't think this lot are particularly good. So I think I'm going to be brave and play a rotated team against them in our return fixture, which will be, I'll play that one off camera. I think we'll just come back for the Newcastle game, which should see us win the group, hopefully. But I don't want to dwell too much on this group stage. But we might start the likes of Manktalo and Svetkovic in the return fixture and hope it doesn't backfire. Feyenoord are doing surprisingly well. Right, let's take Benavides off. He's done his job today. Message sent. And now we definitely want to get Svetkovic on, because I know you lot are itching to see him. So he's going to come on for Bertrand. And then I guess the sensible thing to do in a situation like this is give Christopher Robin more game time at left back. We're trying to train him to play there at the moment. So let's give him another 20 minutes playing at left back and try and turn him into one. I mean, if he can get to the point where he becomes an accomplished left back and can provide some proper competition for Simon, we don't have to go out and buy one then, because Christopher Robin's already there in the squad as like our 4th choice central midfielder. But he's only 23. He's got potential to improve. And like I say, it's a gap in the squad. He's a natural left midfielder. So being a natural left midfielder, there's no reason why he couldn't do that role. But this is more game time for Svetkovic. See, I'm developing young players. Long-time viewers, this is going to blow their mind. In this episode, I've talked about squad rotation and demonstrated that I'm developing young players. If this isn't a cry for help episode, I don't know what is. Just check in with my family, boys and girls. I could be sending you a message here. I'd like to think some of you have already done that, but what a performance! I started the episode giddy. I'm still giddy now. We're gonna actually do some things if we, again, big if we can keep this team together. Should we just check? I think we don't actually have an optional future fee. That was last season we had that. So 24 to 38 million. He's not interested in joining us permanently at the moment, but I bet if we got in the Champions League, he would be. It would be similar to the Omar situation. Can we scratch 24 million together? I mean, we can't. We just can't. Yes, we've got a huge balance, but next season's budget's only 5 million. We've only got 3 million now. We do now have 100% retained transfer revenue. Do we sell someone to be able to buy him? Do we sell Fowry finally? Because we could accept one of those 30 or 40 million pound offers for Fowry and use the money to buy Del Palacio Langer. But we kind of need both. I'm going to ponder that one. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.